others. James Ishen has more in this report.
The gender wage gap is lowest among paid workers with tertiary education, more where women earn 12.7% less than their male counterparts. The wage gap is highest among
the Palestinian.
You said that this is not the time to talk about peace. The first attempt to get a UN resolution was to have a humanitarian pause. Ghana abstained in that vote. Give me your reaction to that.
We believe that Ghana is reviewing very carefully. I'm not here to talk on behalf of Ghana, but I understand that Ghana is reviewing very carefully each and every draft resolution, and they're making very careful decisions about that will demonstrate best the interests of Ghana. And again, I'm the representative of Israel, so it.
And that was the Israeli ambassador speaking on PM Express. There's a lot of development on this as we're learning of some petitions, which we'll talk about. But first, let's talk about international relations and conflict resolution expert Emmanuel Bombande, who says that Ghana must not be seen as taking sides with some Palestinians are being taken. He's then urging government to condemn the continuous attack on Gaza. The former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister is on the pulse.
First of all, the Foreign Ministry must come again.
The former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister is on the pulse.
First of all, the Foreign Ministry must come again.
For being bold to say as it should. He has told the world, and within hours, there has been a threat for him to resign. We, of good people of Ghana, we are behind him. He has said what is on the heart of all soft-hearted human beings who believe in humanity and equality in this world. Soft-hearted human beings who believe in humanity and equality in this world.
Well, except for what transpired earlier today when the coalition of Muslim organizations petitioned the UN Secretariat here in Accra. So exactly what are the demands and why is this protest being staged here in Ghana? Joining us now is Haj Abdul Manan Abdul Rahman, who's president of the coalition of Muslim organizations here in Ghana. Haj, thank you for spending some time with us. Very controversial statements you're making there, indicating that Ghana should not be on the side of the oppressor.
At Strayer University, we see you striving to work harder and go further. That's why we provide you with the tools you need to get there, like offering a brand new laptop when you enroll in a bachelor's program. So you can do your coursework anytime, anywhere, and always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Eligibility rules, restrictions, and exclusions apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia. In a fast-paced world, every day brings new challenges and new opportunities. At Strayer University, we know a thing or two about getting and staying ahead of change. For over 130 years, we've been providing students like you with innovative tools and customized support, so you can find your way forward and always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
For years. But before then, we would like to congratulate your Secretary General for being bold to say as it should. He has told the world, and within hours, there has been a threat for him to resign. We, of good people of Ghana, we are behind him. He has said what is on the heart of all soft-hearted human beings who believe in humanity and equality in this world. Soft-hearted human beings who believe in humanity and equality in this world.
A free and fair and incident-free elections. We want to assure you that on the 4th, we are going to give you an overdose of security. And it will be excellent. It will be awesome. All what we require from you is to support us for each and every one of us to play. It will be awesome. All what we require from you is to support us for each and every one of us to play.
Through unapproved means. This afternoon, we're bringing you details on the latest, especially the Ghanaian angle in this whole new drive and immigration policy by Germany. Shortly, we'll be joined by the founder and chairperson of the GH Support Association Germany, a group which is seeking to support Ghanaians through this process. They've been providing some support as well to other African nationals who may not have permission to legally reside in Germany, but will be speaking to them on what they're doing to reach out to more Ghanaians. And also joining us is Kweku Yeboah, Component Manager, Ghanaian European Center for Jobs, Migration and Development based in Accra. Well, before we get to all of the conversation, let's bring in Thomas Sparrow. He's with our partners, the DW, reporting and delving more into this migration crisis, which is facing Germany as we speak. So let's get to it, Thomas. What's the basis of this new policy?
In the small town of Goslar, the topic of migration is stirring emotions and dividing public opinion, even though migration has been working well. An example is Najib Sayed Ahmad. He fled war-torn Syria 9 years ago and is now the owner of a pharmacy.
I'm happy here and I feel comfortable. At first it was difficult, but then I got the feeling that there are people around me, a community that wants to help. The city has embraced me for the past 9 years.
The pharmacy's former owner gave Najib a helping hand, and he was happy to find a skilled successor.
This is integration in action. We need people to come here and work together with us and help keep our society running.
There are people with lots to offer. I'm talking on many levels. Doctors, engineers, carpenters, and nurses. They are all immigrants. If you look closer at it, it's a win-win situation.
In 2015, many local Goslar citizens welcomed migrants into this rural area with its aging population and many vacant properties. But now, things are getting tense. More than 2,700 additional refugees have arrived since the war broke out in Ukraine.
It's getting worse with the immigrants, no matter their nationality.
It's very tense. There's a lot of complaining about the people who come here.
The voices calling for someone to really clamp down again here are of course getting louder the longer this goes on.
The small organization in Goslar has been trying to foster diversity for more than 3 decades. Now, the far-right populist party, the Alternative for Germany or AfD, holds a few seats in the local council. These refugee supporters still hold hope for integration.
We will grow through these debates. We want people in Goslar to learn how to live together with people from foreign countries, to realize that you have to get to know each other, to understand each other, and that you shouldn't let yourself get riled up.
Den anderen wirklich zu verstehen, dass man sich nicht aufheizen lässt.
Najib thinks populist narratives are being fueled by other problems, such as inflation.
You always want to blame it on something. Far-right parties have taken advantage of that recently. If anything happens, they point their fingers at refugees. But if these people sit and reflect, what have refugees done since coming here? There are success stories worth telling, lots of them.
Despite the challenges, many in Goslar are still striving for peaceful coexistence.
We stay on this because German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has stoked up the debate around migration by saying Germany must deport illegal immigrants on a grand scale. Proposals are now being discussed in order to decide on how this could actually happen in terms of practice. German politicians have said the country is at the limit of its capacity because of the high number of arrivals. So we now bring in Thomas Sparrow, political correspondent for our partners DW in Berlin, joining me now. Thomas, I was just asking the question earlier. How does Scholz, the Chancellor, plan to carry out these deportations?
Ay, mija, abuelita's on her way and I still need to shop for the party.
No worries. Let's order through Instacart.
¿Insta qué?
Sí, Emma. We can order groceries and more online and get everything delivered in as fast as an hour.
Everything for dinner? Carne, tortillas, limas, plátanos.
Claro. Anything else?
Just make sure the plátanos are ripe.
Get groceries delivered same day with Instacart so you have more time for family. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply.
At Strayer University, we see you striving to work harder and go further. That's why we provide you with the tools you need to get there, like offering a brand new laptop when you enroll in a bachelor's program. So you can do your coursework anytime, anywhere, and always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Eligibility rules, restrictions, and exclusions apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
The overall goal of the German government is, on the one hand, to reduce the number of migrants that are arriving in the country irregularly, in other words, that do not have the right to stay, and at the same time increase the number of migrants that are arriving in the country that are high-skilled and can fill a gap in a number of professions where there are problems in this area. Specifically on the first issue, namely making sure that fewer irregular migrants arrive, the German Chancellor stressed that there will be a series of measures both at a national level and at the EU level. This is particularly important because Germany cannot resolve the issue of migration on its own. At a national level, the German Chancellor has already implemented some measures, including stricter border controls at Germany's borders with other European countries. But at the EU level, the main issue, and by the way, an issue that has already been discussed for many years, still remains unresolved completely, namely the fair distribution of migrants throughout the different European countries. This is still a very big issue here in Europe.
And there are many who are asking the question, how big is this problem of migration in your country?
It is a big problem here in Germany, and already the numbers of arrivals are being compared to the height of Germany's refugee crisis in 2015 and 2016. Only in the month of September, over 20,000 migrants, irregular migrants, came to Germany. That's the highest number since February 2016, and already high-ranking German officials, including the German President, Frank-Walter, have said that Germany has reached its the limits of its capacity when it comes to receiving and welcoming these migrants and also integrating these migrants into Germany's society. This is something that, by the way, you also see in cities and municipalities that have been complaining also for weeks and months that they need more help from the federal government. So it is indeed a very big problem, and one that probably prompted Chancellor Scholz to say this statement that Germany now has to start deporting irregular migrants or illegal migrants on a large scale.
Except that now it's beginning to stoke
now has to start deporting irregular migrants or illegal migrants on a large scale.
Except that now it's beginning to stoke
wrote a letter in collaboration with the Ghanaian Global Union of Ghanaian Scholars. We wrote a letter in collaboration with them to the Ministry of Education and the Educational Committee of Parliament.
Right.
We also wrote a letter to His Excellency the Vice President, of which we haven't had any response yet. So we've written numerous letters, but to no avail.
So not even a single committee or institution responded to you, or at least you got some responses?
The only response we got was from the Director of Tertiary Education in Ghana here, Dr. Yaira. He gave us a verbal promise of reintegrating us into the private universities, of which we cannot afford, honestly.
I see. So the plan is to move you into private universities. That's not on paper yet, but at least the verbal assurance that you're giving. What's the plan? To have all the medical students move into these private institutions? What's the plan?
If we could afford these prices or the fees for private institutions, we wouldn't go for the scholarships. So if we are pleading for them to integrate us, please not to a private institution.
So let's get this clear. Most of your members, and how many are you in terms of the numbers?
We are 70,
Right.
46 undergraduates, 22 graduates, 2 master students.
So over 70 students. Most of you, from the understanding and what you're telling me, you're on scholarship. So it's not as though you are the ones funding the tuition,
yes,
and you know, perhaps you're boarding there.
Yes.
All of us are on scholarship. None of us went there to pay for our fees. It was a scholarship program. So that's how come we left there. Trust me, if we had the money, we wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's it.
How has life been? You know, sitting home and watching your colleagues go to school. You say it's traumatic.
Very traumatic. Sometimes we feel like we are failures because, yes, we've had verbal promises, but when are we starting? Has there been any dates? Nothing. So we don't know whether we will actually be going back to school or not. So sometimes we feel like failures because trust me, personalizing it, going to medical school was like a dream come true for myself and to my family.
Yeah.
So coming back without any certificates is really devastating.
If you had the second opportunity, would you go back to Sudan?
Well, if it was a scholarship, yes, I would. But knowing that this war and everything, I wouldn't have. Because Sudanese people are really nice people, honestly, and I really love them. But then the war just made everything bad. Yeah.
Such a trying moment for these students. We'll be trying to get some answers, but also joining us via Zoom now is Lord Mark Mensah, President of the Union. And you've been working out there in the UK, trying to support your counterparts who have now returned to Ghana. You started the process when they were in Sudan, I recall speaking to you. But now, what's the way forward? Are you making any further attempts to reach out to government, the ministry perhaps, to get some solution? We're unable to hear you. Just unmute so we can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Hello, Bless. How are you doing? Thanks for having me here, and good evening to your listeners, wherever they are. It's a frustrating, like you heard the lady rightly said there. You asked a question that I was cringing here, that if they have the opportunity to go back to Sudan, would they go? I was shocked hearing, and her response was that she will go back. That all you can see there is desperation, and she explained what the situation is like. Frustration, coming out of a war situation with the trauma and the disappointment, and then staying home for all these whiles. The government is doing nothing. Bless, we had this conversation before, and I remember telling you that what we need is a policy that in case anything happens to international students and scholars abroad, and they're coming back to the country, what is the policy? What do we have to do for them? The government needs to have a clear-cut procedure and processes that will take them through. It has happened before in Ukraine, so at least we have some templates. Like we have a template. How was these guys from Sudan, our students from Sudan, Ukraine, how were they integrated into the system? So we have the template. So why can't we do the same for those who are coming from Sudan? And by the way, when they met the tertiary, the head of the tertiary institutions from the Ministry of Education, all they are speaking about or talking about is medical students. But from Sudan, they have engineers, they have also other accountants or people pursuing other courses. And we have to look across board. We will not take some of them to institutions and leave them. So that is where we are right now.
Is it the case that there's difficulty in trying to reach the very same people who helped to do the repatriation? You were very quick, very effective on that score. I recall the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs speaking to us, addressing the President, saying that coordination happened because they had, connectivity, they were communicating with your group. So how come that's no longer happening after we had the people come back home?
Bless, I'm not sleeping. You remember when we had this conversation? We mobilized and helped them inside Sudan. We had to send money to them, and then they were asked to come to the borders before the government will evacuate them. So we appreciate the government taking them or repatriating them to Ghana. But we did all those cooperation or those hard work, getting them money to them, then them traveling through this difficult bombing and all these bullets war zone, and then they got to Ethiopia. Finally, you took them gracefully back to Ghana. Now, for all these years, for all these months, we have tried everything, contacting the government, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and nobody's responding. Some of them went recently, I think 2 weeks ago, to meet the minister or ministry, minister responsible for tertiary institutions. Again, they were promised verbally. Nothing has been said or written formally, and no action has been taken so far. And we're talking about young life. These are the future leaders of our country, right? And you bring them back home and then leave them like that. It's so heartbreaking.
Finally, what will be the next step? Would you try another attempt just to try and reach out, try and get some solutions? Because speaking to these young girls, the essence is we want to get back into the classrooms, at least for those who are almost finishing school, they want to get into the medical practice. So what's the next line of action?
The next line of action is that we are still going to push. We are still going to, pursue our agenda or our plan, or making sure that the government here or adhere to our plea on behalf of these young people. They are young and they are desperate, they are frustrated, they are traumatized, and they need to go back to the classroom. Like I said earlier on, we have done it before, and so we'll continue to do that. We wrote to the minister again 2 days ago, yesterday. We have written clearly and we made recommendations on what exactly needed doing for these young people. And so we are hoping that we will, get some positive response from them. Until that, we'll keep pushing until we find the right button to press to make sure that the government and the stakeholders involved listen to the cry of these young people who are desperately in need of support and help going back to the classroom and integrating back into the system.
Not a very good time. I can imagine the trauma they are all going through, but we'll be monitoring the efforts, and kudos to you as well. We wait to see what the outcome will be. Lord Mark Mensah.
Because we are not resting at all. Myself, I'm not sleeping. I get phone calls every day, and as you can listen to them say, cry. They cry on the phone every time, and as a father, I feel it. I feel the pain. I feel they are, and something needs to be done. So we are pleading with you as well, the media. If you can help us in any way at all, please do your best. Press those buttons, and let's all work together and make sure that the government immediately, as a matter of urgency, do something and support these ladies and gentle men back to the classroom so that they can pursue their dreams and visions for the future.
Yeah, I believe many within the ministries are watching us now. All we need is the help that these young girls and the others out there are appealing for. We're wrapping up. Do you have any message for the authorities? What would that be? Let me start off with you.
Okay, so I would like to thank them for the successful evacuation process, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Embassy of Ghana in Cairo and in Ethiopia. The Global Union of Ghanaian Scholars are doing very well for us, and we are really, really appreciative of them. Thank you very much for all the support, and we are pleading on you, the government of Ghana, His Excellency the Vice President, please come to our aid. We need, as Dr. Lord Mark Mensah mentioned, we are the future leaders, and then we cannot quit. We cannot quit, so please help us go back to school. Thank you.
For you? Your message?
He has said everything. So all what we are pleading is we have hope for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So please, the government should come to our aid. We want to go back to school.
I see. I see that you're down, but of course we can only urge you that there is, of course, some hope coming through. We wait on the authorities to see what the outcome will be. Let's take you now to the Volta region because the Akosombo floods disaster continues to significantly impact education. Some affected students have turned to hawking and also other menial jobs just to make ends meet. Amongst them is Abednego Agbo, an 18-year-old first-year student of the Komboni Vocational Technical School. Is now selling Aigbe biscuits in the bustling traffic of Sogakope in the Southern district of the Volta region. He laments his dreams of becoming an immigration officer is at risk due to the flooding situation. Well, Carlos Caloni has been to the community and now reports.
This is Komboni Technical Vocational Institute, which has remained locked and inaccessible for weeks due to floods induced by the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. The fate of the 1,700 students hangs in the balance. While students in other regions receive their lessons, those affected by this disaster in the school resort to menial work due to closure of their classrooms. Abednego Agbo, an 18-year-old first-year student studying automobile engineering, now sells Aigbe biscuits in the midst of traffic jams in Sogakope. He tells Joy News how worried he is about the loss of lessons.
I'm from Sogakope here. I'm schooling at Komboni Technical Institution. And right now, as we all know, the Volta River has flooded. And our compound now is flooded. So we are no more going to school. So I'm here to manage this one after that. Then when the water comes down, then we go back to school. So we are waiting and we are begging the government that it should come to our aim to come and help us so that we'll go to the school before the ending of this year. Yeah.
Which year are you and what are you reading?
Okay, I'm in first year and I'm offering automobile engineering. Yeah, so right now when you go to the school, you see that our department all over there is water. So we are begging the government, if not, our machines will get damaged. And when we resume school, we don't know which machine we use to do practical works again. We are not going to school, so now we don't know where to go and learn again. So as for some of us, we are the host home and we are learning on our own. So we are begging the government, because they said before the water comes, they said we are going to write exam. So but right now we are at home. It's left with 2 weeks to start the exam.
Abednego says he fears his dream of becoming an immigration officer in future may be in jeopardy if the situation persists.
Some of my colleagues too, some are riding motor and some are fishing in other communities. And me too, this is what I want to be doing so that at the time that the water will come down, then we'll go back to school. Yes, for me, my vision is to become an immigration officer in future. So because of this, that's why I'm going to the school. So I'm begging the government to come to our aim and help us so that I can achieve my aim in future.
Speaking to Joy News, the principal of Komboni Technical Vocational School, Harry Peter Ajima, insists there is an urgent need for intervention plan to keep the students out of the streets.
1,700 who are first and second years who are still with us. They are affected. They have not finished their semester. They are supposed to finish their semester 30th November, but we are now in the house. And we don't know whether we can come to school before then. So they are badly affected. And as students as they are, once they are not in school, some of them take to do Okada riding, selling at the bridge side. So as they are not in school, they are doing that. And is the reason why we think there must be some alternative plans to let them either be attending class somewhere or maybe when we school we can recover within 3-4 weeks. Then we have intervention plan to cover for it, cover for the lost periods.
Even though floodwaters seem to be receding in some affected areas, it remains uncertain when normal academic activities can resume. Carlos Caloni, Joy News.
We stay within the Southern areas because on the Flandings, the deplorable road network leading to Agave Afeduma in the Southern district of the Volta region is impeding access to relief items by flood victims. The concern was raised by the Assembly member for the area, Christian Kwesi, when the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana defied the nature of the roads to donate some relief items there.
The road to Ziweno is in terrible shape with potholes, dust, and narrow passage. Over 45 houses have crumbled, displacing countless residents. Flood victims need urgent help. When the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, ICAG, donated relief items to the tune of 70,000 Ghana cedis, Assemblyman for Apeduma electoral area, Christian Kwesi Voyeho, raised concerns about the road obstructing relief efforts.
Our road is extremely deplorable. Some of our sisters and brothers living in Accra want to come to us, but they found it difficult coming to us because of the deplorable nature of our road. The road is Agave Apeduma Road, starting from Gradisco through Makoje, through Asidovi, Akplane to Agbeve. So we are appealing to the government to come to our aid and construct this road for us.
The journey to these communities was backbreaking, to say the least. The estimated 15-minute trip along the 14-kilometer road took the team well over an hour to navigate. Upon arrival, the team had to endure an additional 6-minute walk to reach the riverbank.
We are going to Ziweno in the Agave Apeduma electoral area. And it's because we don't have a direct access. The flooding water has cut the Ziweno community off.
Your experience?
It was terrible.
It was what?
But it was a nice experience.
Following a thorough assessment of the damage here, the team provided hot meals to the victims along with mattresses, blankets, bags of rice and more. Speaking to Joy News, the Director, Finance and Administration at the ICAG, Joyce Opoku-Dodu, explained that this donation aligns with the organization's commitment to ensuring environmental sustainability.
Looking at the devastating nature of what has happened, we decided to also come and do our bit to bring some comfort into the lives of these people. As an institute, this year is our 60th anniversary, and the theme for our 60th anniversary is to promoting sustainability, nurturing trust, and building partnership. Sustainability for us is all about the environment. It is very unfortunate that this is happening, but what we can do to make somebody feel a bit comfortable, to make some people have a very peaceful sleep, that is why we are here, and that is what we have done. We believe that these mattresses will go a long way to help. The blankets will be used to cover the young ones who have been exposed.
However, Madame Dodu made a heartfelt plea to the authorities, urging them to address the deplorable road situation to enhance relief efforts.
We thought we were coming to a village close to Ada, but then when we started turning off the main road, we realized that we asked ourselves how many people will even drive on this road and come and give hand of help to our people. It's so sad. The road is so terrible, and if you don't take care, it will put you off and you go back to Accra with your face. But because we were determined to make an impact, we went through it, and then we are here. We are just praying that we'll go back safely on the road, and our cars will be able to get back to Accra safely. But we are appealing to the government. These people need help, and the help should be able to come on quite a good road. People should be encouraged to come. So if something can be done about the road, so that those who want to help them will be able to drive here and help them.
The Assemblyman expressed his gratitude to ICAG for their benevolent gesture.
I once again want to thank Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana for coming to our aid during this damage that the spillage has caused to the people of Agave Apeduma, specifically the people of Gojekota, the people of Apeduma, Asidovi, and then Akroti communities. We want to say that we appreciate the relief items given to us.
As the Akosombo Dam spillage continues to ravage these hard-to-reach communities, it becomes paramount to prioritize relief efforts in these areas. Carlos Galoni, Joy News.
And Joy News will remain in the communities and bring you some updates on the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. But that's all time will allow us here on the Pulse. With me, Blessed Sudan. Log on to myjoyonline.com. We have many stories there for you. We're taking a break, but when we return, next will be Let's Talk Showbiz. Stay on the Joy News channel. Thanks for watching.
We are calling all distinguished alumni, cherished friends, and well-wishers of the University of Professional Studies Accra, UPSA, to join us as we climax the 58th anniversary of UPSA with a fundraising gala and awards ceremony. The date is Friday, November 3rd, 2023, at the iconic UPSA Auditorium with our guest of honor, Dr. KK Sapon, Chancellor of UPSA. Our fundraising gala is not just an event, it's a dynamic opportunity to contribute to the establishment of an endowment fund and the construction of an ultra-modern police station for the UPSA community, as well as rekindling old friendships on campus, networking with business leaders, and getting recognized for your charitable contributions. For tickets and donations, simply dial *771 *10# and enter the UPSA code 1850. UPSA, scholarship with professionalism.
Starting this October 20th to 11th of November, the African Football League. Who is going to be crowned Africa's Champion of Champions and take the lion's share of the 14.4 million prize money? Catch all the games streaming at www.AFL Africa and on FIFA Plus. The African Football League, our game, our home. Now let's shine together.
Anniversary. I can't believe it's been 125 years already.
Enum Presbyterian Senior High School is a prestigious school in the Sunyamine district of the Eastern Region.
Established in 1897, the school has served the nation under several capacities as an institution. This year, the school is celebrating its 125th anniversary on Saturday, 28 October 2023 at 9 o'clock a.m.
The venue for the Grand Deba is the forecourt of the school's administration block.
Speaking on the theme, promoting quality education through discipline for tomorrow's generation, is Reverend Professor Joseph Osafuedu.
The special guest of honor to grace the occasion is Odeneho Kwafo Akoto III, the Oman Hene of Akremo traditional area.
Other invited guests include His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana,
Honorable Dr. Ya Osei Edichu, Minister of Education, Honorable Thomas Ampemyako, MP for Asojamine constituency,
Right Reverend Professor Joseph Oduya Buamante, the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, and many more dignitaries.
The days preceding the Grand Deba will be filled with activities such as inter-house football gala, float, awards presentation, and many more.
All students, stakeholders, and well-wishers are cordially invited.
Upon the mountain,
we are pledged to see you.
Psalm 100 verses 1-2. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Get ready for an electrifying Adon Praise 2023 Choirs Edition. Imagine choirs of prominent churches in worship and praise sessions on a Sunday. Yes, you heard me right. Sunday, 29th October 2023 at the Perez Dome, Jolu, after church at 4 p.m. Theme: Harmony of Faith, Voices United in Praise. Come experience the awe-inspiring beauty beauty of multiple voices, united in worship and praise, delivering soul-stirring classics from the following choirs. Cedar Mountain Choir, featuring Joe Metal. The New Song, featuring PSA Esther. Multimedia Choir, featuring Kofi Pepra. Destiny Songs, featuring Efe Grace. CT Praise, featuring Reverend Edwin Datson. Voices of Triumph, featuring Reverend Ifreko Chamien. Royal House Chapel Joint Choir, featuring Emoji. Perez Chapel Choir, Perez Chapel International. Bethel Revival Choir, Global Evangelical Ministry. Team Eternity, Harmonious Chorale. Tickets are going on sale for 70 Ghana CD standard by the short code *714*003*3#. Limited tickets available at participating churches, Joy FM, Airport Shell, and the Perez Chapel Bookshop. Hashtag Adom Praise Choirs Edition. Mark the date, Sunday, 29th October 2023 at Perez Dome, Jonglu at 4 p.m. It's going to be godly awesome. The Adom Praise 2023 Choirs Edition is sponsored by Snit Seed, Self-Employed Enrollment Drive, Ayawadache, Fano Personal, Angel Cola, The Enjoyment Cola, Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone, Accessories and Air Condition Papa Fee, Access Bank, More Than Banking, Evermilk, Taste is Believing, 3P Garlic Mixture, and your naturally organic, Pilot Tablet and Ointment from Kelmed Pharmaceuticals Limited, Pals, Coco, Last Stop, Escort Security Services, Think Security, choose Escort Security Services, Happy Delight, share the happiness, Kivo Pepe, Melkoshishi, Media Partners, Adom FM, Adom TV, Asemper FM, AdomOnline.com, Joy FM, Joy News, Joy Prime, MyJoyOnline.com, Precious TV, Sweet Melodies FM, Sunny FM, Footprint TV, and Christocentric Station. Adom Praise, yeah, baby. Let me see your dancing.
It's always about to be the next level.
But these days I do. Originally I know they find trouble, but these days I do. Yeah. Cause it's a lonely road, a lonely road, never suffer lonely. I know they find trouble, but these days I do. Oh, them a bring me voodoo, but I thank Jehovah for the journey. Oh, joy comes in the morning. I let bad mind close to a story. Hey. So many secrets that I pray don't come out. Paranoid cause I've seen things go bad when my family turn to demons around me. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, God, for keeping things smoothly. And the blessings where you shoot daily. I don't go lie, I'm feeling differently. Now why I still they move on that over. Thank you, God, for keeping things smoothly. And the blessings where you shoot daily. I don't go lie, I'm feeling differently. Now why I still they move. Them a bring me voodoo, but I thank Jehovah for the journey. Oh, joy comes in the morning. I let bad mind close to a story. Hey. So many secrets that I pray don't come out. Paranoid cause I've seen things go bad when my family turn to demons around me. Yeah, yeah.
Let's Talk Showbiz. My name is I. Don't be confused. Avio is not here. I'm just sitting in for Avio for today. And today on Let's Talk Showbiz, I get to sit with one gentleman. He used to be a producer. He's produced songs for a lot of artists in Nigeria. Now he hails from Nigeria, from the eastern part of Nigeria. And now his name, I'm trying to find out how and why he has that name. But he writes the name with 6 UFF. But he mentions it as Boff. Boff, you can call it Beth, Boff, but the name is Boff. I'm here with him today to talk music right here on Let's Talk Showbiz. Did I mention the name right?
Yeah, Boff, not Beth.
Not Beth. So you heard it, the name is Boff, not Beth. Okay, so tell me, I mean, music for you as being like something that you don't joke with. When I read about your biography, I realized that you started music